Yeah, my name is Paul Jackson. I'm the head of digital product for News UK and also the founder of Pivot, who advise corporations on a successful transition to a digital product culture. I'm going to be talking about digital transformation and why established brands are going to struggle to compete with pure digital brands in the future, and what actions I believe they should take as a consequence. Put simply, digital transformation is the impact that the widespread availability of digital technologies is going to have on the consumer, on the marketplace, and on existing modes of doing business. It impacts all parts of an organisation, but I'm going to be talking specifically about its impact on consumer product and how companies should manage a digital ecosystem. For pure digital brands like Google or Amazon, the term product to describe websites and apps is long established, but for non-digital brands it's still a novel concept. I thought that Jim Hanmer's videocast about the need for an effective product management team to coordinate digital development was absolutely spot on, but the success of a product team is very much dependent on their objectives and their measures of success being aligned with those of the executive. And my experience is that that is very rarely the case. Yes, product and engineering teams tend to be influenced by the principles of agile development and more recently lean startup methodologies. These are collectively badged as lean agile. Product teams tend to focus on questions such as what customer problem are we solving, are we building the right product, and how can we iterate towards success. Executives are almost never asking these questions. They tend to be much more focused on questions of certainty in terms of delivery and scope, transparency in terms of progress, and when they'll see the return on their investment. As a result, this conflict I think means that the majority, or certainly a significant amount of attempts to introduce product into a corporation are likely to fail. Mike Kottermeyer of Leading Agile has a useful analysis that I think is absolutely valid. He sees digital brands like Google, Amazon or Facebook as having what he calls an emergent business model. This means they have a very clear and succinct vision for what they do as a business, and they're very flexible on the specifics of the product proposition as long as it can demonstrably show that it's delivering against the vision. Non-digital brands tend to have what he believes are called a convergent business model. This means the overall vision is often less clear, and they tend to focus much more on the specifics of product feature sets or delivery in terms of dates. The conflict between a product team and the exec is an illustration of one team operating with an emergent mindset but within a culture that has convergent values. The digital marketplace is characterized by two things: speed and uncertainty. The digital consumer moves extremely fast and is highly unpredictable in their behavior as a result. Any brand that's going to compete in these circumstances needs to be very well adapted to these conditions. The essence of the lean agile philosophy is that what actually works for customers is very rarely what you initially think it is. You need to start with a set of assumptions, you need to have very clear metrics for how you'll measure success, and then you need to test quickly with your customers or in the marketplace and then adapt the product based on the response. This is what's called iterating towards product market fit. The most common mistake is to look at successful digital brands like Amazon or Google and assume that the secret to their success is just getting great engineers and great product managers, and the answer resides purely in the technology space. In fact, success is much more an attribute of the entire business outlook towards factors like risk, towards uncertainty, towards experimentation, and most importantly towards failure. And this is often the opposite of the existing value system that most companies show. I would make 4 recommendations. The first is that whenever you're initiating any new product development, to start with the problem you're solving for customers or the need that you're fulfilling. Never start with the business value or the business benefit. The marketplace for digital products is extremely competitive and it's getting more and more congested all the time, and consumers will inevitably gravitate towards products that help them get jobs done or deliver or fulfill specific need states. The second is about meaningful and actionable data. and measures of success. Most data is completely meaningless and it's a distraction. What's vital is that you identify one or two numbers that are actionable in the sense that you can affect them and that are very closely tied to the health of your business, and that you obsess over them and ignore everything else. The third is that well-known maxim, fail fast, fail early, and don't expect to get it right first time. If you think you have the solution to a customer problem, build out a very basic version and then test it straight away with customers, because chances are that you've either got it completely wrong or you're 50% right, and that's fine. You either abandon the initiative completely or you tweak the product over a number of iterations to realize the anticipated customer value. And finally, I'd say stop demanding certainty. It's almost impossible to be definite about digital outcomes beyond a 2 or 3 month horizon because there's so many variables and so many unknowns. But most executives are still emotionally tied to detailed roadmaps that extend over a 12 to 18 month period. These give the illusion of certainty but are effectively meaningless. What's much better is to focus on a single overarching business goal and track progress towards that. As Jeff Bezos says, be strong on vision but flexible on the details. You can contact me on Twitter @PivotServices or via the website pivot.uk.com.